Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 11, Text 33 and 34. Text 33 doesn't have purport, so I'll read the verse 33 and then later we'll chant together 34. So verse 33, translation. The cowherd women riding on the bullock carts were dressed very nicely with excellent garments, and their bodies, especially their breasts, were covered with fresh kumkum powder. As they rode, they began to chant with great pleasure the pastimes of Krishna. Text 34. Tata Yashodarohinyau Ekam Shaktam Astite Rejatuhu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravana Utsuke Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shaktam Astite Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravanotsuke Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravanotsuke Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravanotsuke. Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Krishna Ramabhyam Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Ekatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Mataji's Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravanotsuke Tata as well as Yashoda Roginyau, both Mother Yashoda and Mother Rogini. Ekam Shakatam, on one bullock cart. Astite, seated. Rejatu, very beautiful. Krishna Ramabhyam, Krishna and Balarama along with their mothers. Tat Katha of the pastimes of Krishna and Balarama. Shravana Utsuke, being situated in hearing with great transcendental pleasure. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: thus, hearing about the pastimes of Krishna and Balarama with great pleasure, Mother Yashoda and Rogini, so as not to be separated from Krishna and Balarama for even a moment, got up with them on one bullock cart. In this situation, they all looked very beautiful. Purport: it appears that Mother Yashoda and Rogini could not be separated from Krishna and Balarama even for a moment. Thus, they used to pass their time either by taking care of Krishna and Balarama or by chanting about their pastimes. Thus, Mother Yashoda and Rogini looked very beautiful. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschavadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tata Yashoda Roginya Ekam Shakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tatkata Shravanotsuke. Second translation. Thus, hearing about the pastimes of Krishna and Balarama with great pleasure, Mother Yashoda and Rohini Devi, so as not to be separated from Krishna and Balarama for even a moment, got up with them on one bullock cart. In this situation, they all looked very beautiful. Hare Krishna. So here we are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam this childhood pastimes of Krishna. So here we see how in Gokul so many demons are performing atrocities. So because of that, the Gopas and Gopis, they decided to move to Vrindavan. So in this verse we saw how, in previous verses we saw how the people from the village, everyone, they ride in the bullock cart. So in this verse it's mentioned that Rohini and Mother Yashoda, both of them, they ride in one bullock cart along with Krishna and Balaram. It's mentioned because their mothers, they never want to be separated from them, so they are taking care of them. So here it's mentioned that they never want to separate even for a moment. So this Srimad Bhagavatam, if we see, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he instructs Sanatana Goswami, he mentioned that there are three purposes in Vedas. So one is Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojana. First of all, from the Vedas, we can get the Sambandha Jnana. Who are we, and then who is God, and then what is our relationship. So first this relationship, this we can understand from Sambandha Jnana, and then and how to act in that relationship, that is Abhidaya, and Prayojana is the goal which we attain. So if you see in all Vedic literatures, if you see, In Bhagavad Gita, all three are there, but mostly the Samadha Jnana is prominent in there. In pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, mostly the relationship between the devotees and the Lord, these are mentioned. This is prominent in Srimad Bhagavatam. So how here also we can see how this pastimes of Krishna, how devotees, especially this Mother Yashoda and Rohini's, their parental affection towards Krishna and Balarama, this is mentioned, and how they're so intensely, absorbed in that parental love. This actually we are seeing in these pastimes. And from this Srimad Bhagavatam, we learn actually how, as a devotees, how we should behave and how we should perform our devotional service. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very important for us. Everyone actually, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, for them this Srimad Bhagavatam is very important, because once our relation is established, how to act in that relationship. When we understand that we are servant of Krishna, how as a servant we should perform our service. This we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam from many devotees like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj. So so many pastimes are there. From these pastimes, we can learn how we should act and how we should have love for Krishna. This we should understand. And then in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions Manmana Bhavat Bhakto, always think of me, become my devotee. Krishna instructs Arjuna in that way. So here in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can learn how we can always think of Krishna. By reading all these pastimes, actually this is the only thing which gives inspiration to us. By serving the Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading, this only gives the inspiration to do our service. So this is very important, how in each and every action, so devotees are very much absorbed in thinking of Krishna and glorifying Krishna. Whenever, even we can see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this 10th canto itself, when Yashoda was churning butter, at the time also she was chanting the glories of the Lord. So all the way, Satatam Kitayanto Mam, Krishna instructs, but devotees, from the devotees' life, we can learn how they are always, 24 hours, always they are engaged in hearing and glorifying the Lord. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is very important. And here we can see how this Mother Yashoda and Rohini, in one cart they are leaving to Vrindavan. We can see, we also go to, it's like Yatra, right? We also go to Vrindavan, Yatra. Here, when both of them were together, when they were traveling, here we can see they were glorifying the pastimes of the Lord. So they are relishing pleasure, and then we can see how they are glorifying the Lord in every moment. When Krishna and Yashoda, they were in the house, Yashoda, she was engaging nicely. He is serving Krishna nicely. But now she was traveling, but even at that moment, she was always, glorifying Krishna. So this is very important even for us. Actually, we are also traveling many yatra, Vrindavan, Mathura, and then Mayapur. We are traveling, and we can see we also have to, even while traveling, when we travel in train, we have so many things to do. So whether we are also actually speaking about Krishna, that we should learn. We can also, throughout our travel, we can speak about Krishna. We can distribute books. We can, distribute prasadam. So in that way, we can also be engaged fully, even while traveling. But what happens? It's like when we go for yatra, in this yatra and all, some has the misconception. Okay, from temple we are going to yatra. That means free of service. We don't have any engagement. We are happy. We are enjoying. So that spirit, sometimes comes to us. Oh, now we are free. Now we are relaxed. So that should not be. It's mentioned. Satatam kita yantoma means always. So many people, okay, while traveling, okay, now only I'm getting time, so I'll whole travel Some likes to sleep. Uh, they nicely eat, nicely sleep, and they forgot that even this moment we should not forget Krishna. We should have this attitude. So even while traveling, we should also try to explain about Krishna consciousness among the devotees, also to the public. Otherwise, if we are in a relaxed mood, then Maya is, Krishna is everywhere. Similarly, Maya is also everywhere. Then we should not be carried away. Like spending time just by sightseeing here and there. Like that, we should not be in relaxed mode. We should also, by hearing all these pastimes, how devotees are, every time, each and every moment, they were speaking about Krishna. So from this, we should learn all these things. And then going to yatra means going to holy places, visiting the holy places. This means that we go there to hear. This also we should know. It's not that we go to vacation. We'll go to Ooty Aircard. We go and then release the atmosphere. Not like that. We'll go to many places. We have to visit. We have to see many things. We should not be focused on in that alone. Even in Bhagavatam itself, it's mentioned that Yashyatma Buddhi Kunapeti Dhatuke Sadik Pradishiboma Ijati Yattita Buddhi Shalinena Karhichit Janeshu Vigneshu Sayeva Gokhara. So, with bodily identification, for our bodily enjoyment, if we act in that platform, that is that is compared to animals. We go to Tirthaya, and then just taking bath and coming back. There is no use. It's like it's no use in that. So our acharyas mentioned that going to visiting the holy places means we have to sit and hear about the pastimes of the Lord. We are going to, because otherwise we may commit offenses, because in holy dham whatever we do, it is multiplied by many times. So even going to these holy places, if we are going with an enjoying mood, then we will commit so many offenses. So this also we have to understand. And then when we go to all these holy places, only when we hear about the holy place, when we hear from the spiritual master, then only we can have a proper vision of that holy place. Otherwise, as I mentioned, we will see the holy places just like one of the places for our enjoyment. So when we have proper hearing, then only we will have a proper vision how to act in that dham and how to perform. So this is very important, because when we are identified with the body, as I mentioned, so this body made up of Kapha, Pitta and Vayu. This is my body, and the place where I took birth. This is my land. So this is my worshipable land. So in this way, if we are identifying with ourselves, with the body, this bodily consciousness, then we will remain in animal platform only. So we have to come above that animal platform. So this here we can see how Yashoda and Rohini, they were enjoying this, discussing about the pastimes of Krishna. While traveling also, they were relishing Krishna's pastimes. So these Krishna's pastimes, they are all beautiful. It's mentioned that in previous verse it's mentioned that they were nicely decorated, and then they were in that cart, and Prabhupada in this purport he's mentioned they look beautiful. We should not understand that they are beautiful because they decorated themselves nicely. They are beautiful because they are glorifying the Lord. They were speaking amongst themselves about the pastimes of the Lord. So they are beautiful. So Krishna is beautiful. And then speaking about Krishna, we also can become beautiful. In this world, to beauty in terms of bodily conception, only people think that is beauty. Miss World, Miss India, Miss America, like that, so many Miss beauties are there, but that is not the real beauty. A real beauty we can see from Krishna and his devotees what is the real nature of real beauty, that we have to understand. And this so-called this Miss world, they're actually missing real beauty. Hmm. What is the real beauty? Prabhupada in one of the anecdote he mentions that what is that real beauty? He mentions the story of that liquid beauty. Beauty. What is the beauty? So one person, one strong man. So he saw a woman, but he want to associate with that woman. But that lady, that woman, she is beautiful, but also she is, how to say? She is also like saint. She is having saintly character also. So that man, he approached that lady, and then she told, "Okay, just wait for 7 days." So she want to teach what is the real beauty. So after through the 7 days, she took some medicine so that she can whatever she is eating, she just evacuates this stool. She passes urine, vomiting. So in that way, she collected all this stool, urine, vomit, everything in a pot, and then after 7 days, that person came to that house, same house, and the same lady, she opens the door. And that man is asking, "Oh, where is that lady? Where is that beautiful woman?" She is telling, "Oh, I am that woman." Because all these 7 days she was, diseased. All these days she was passing stool and urine. She lose all his beauty. She become very tired and weak. So that person couldn't believe. And then that lady, she told that, "Oh, I separated my beauty in this." So you see that. So after 7 days, it become so decomposed, and then it's a like black layer. He saw, and then he was, disgusted. So then she told, "This is the real beauty. This material body made of blood, stool, and urine. This is the not real beauty. The real beauty is spirit in it." And then if you see that spirit, that spirit comes from the supreme spirit. It's mentioned that we are spark of the Lord, like Mamamso Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. We are like in a spark of fire. Krishna is fire. So real beauty is it's mentioned that we are spirit soul is the real truth. That means if that is the case, then how beautiful will be that fire? How beautiful will be that supreme spirit? So this we should understand. The real beauty is in Krishna, in the spirit, in the spiritual activities. So this we should understand. So Lord is beautiful. We can see how nicely He is performing pastimes, and devotees are beautiful. So how they are relishing these pastimes, and then the process, their engagement. How Lord does whatever is required for the devotees, and how devotees they want to serve the Lord. So in this way, their relationship, that is also beautiful. So only these are the real beautiful things. But not knowing this, the so-called modern Miss World beauties and all, that is not real beauty. Real beautiful things are in this pastimes only. And then here we can see how this two village girls, this Mother Yashoda and Rohini, when they were traveling in the bullock cart, they were speaking about Krishna. So we should also, many people will have this talkative nature. When the talkative nature, when that nature is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then that is proper. Otherwise, those words, the words which don't glorify, the words which don't glorify the Lord, they are useless talks only, useless words. But only when we have that talkative nature, when we applied in spreading the glories of the Lord, then it's useful. Then it's matters. And then those sometimes people, some may not have the talkative nature, some may be having shyness in speaking. Even then, they are speaking, and even if they can't speak more, even they can engage their body, their mind in service of the Lord. Whatever talents, whatever qualities that we have, if we engage in Krishna's service, if we engage in glorifying the Lord, if we engage in preaching activities, then that is beautiful. Otherwise, whatever Prabhupada mentions in one place, one can speak eloquently, and then one can with perfect grammar, and then so in a scholarly one can give a talk. But if that talks are not glorifying the Lord, what is the use? What is the use of that? So Prabhupada mentions like that. So it's very important. Whatever wealth, possession, whatever talent, that whatever nature that we have, that we should engage in Krishna's service. Because otherwise, Maharaj mentions in one lecture that if we don't speak about Krishna Katha, then we'll speak about Gramya Katha. In Vaikunta, Krishna Katha is there. But here, people, because of this conditioned nature, because of Maya's influence, we are speaking this Gramya Katha. So actually, everyone should speak Krishna Katha, but the tendency is covered by Maya. So we should come out of this Maya. So Prabhupada, if you see, he see everywhere, he sees everything in relation with Krishna. So if you see something and if you conceive something separate from Krishna, that is Maya. But when we see things in relation with Krishna, then we are in a proper position. And Prabhupada also shows in many times, even like I mentioned, devotees were always speaking about Krishna, 24 hours they will speak about Krishna. And practically we can see from Prabhupada's life, from his Prabhupada Leela Amrita and Transcendental Diary, like that, many devotees, they shared their memories with Krishna. So we can understand how practically Prabhupada lived, without, actually Prabhupada lived with every time, each and every moment he is in Krishna consciousness. So he showed us practically how to be in Krishna consciousness. And then wherever he goes and wherever, there are so many instances in the memories that devotees shared. So that itself whole life we can speak about Prabhupada. So in that way, they actually teaches us practically how we can always see everything in relation with Krishna. In one instance, Prabhupada mentioned, just he was walking in a road, and then he saw a dustbin, and then there was a signboard. Exactly, I don't remember the content. This, leave your garbage or something. It's mentioned in the dustbin. And then Prabhupada immediately saw this whole material world itself is like garbage. This dustbin is not sufficient to put this material world inside. So like that, he saw the dustbin, but he immediately connects with what is the nature of the material world. It's a simple thing, but he still whenever he sees, whenever he speak humorously also, but very instructive things. So whenever Prabhupada moves, he saw everything in relation with Krishna, and he wants us also to have that tendency. And also in Bhagavad Gita also, it's mentioned that Machitta Madgatha Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kadayantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Machitta, minds always engaged in me. Madgatha Prana, throughout your life, So in this verse, in Bhagavad Gita, the characteristics of pure devotee is mentioned. So how devotees always, they think of Krishna, and Bodhayanta Parasparam. When devotees meet together, they speak together about Krishna. So in this way, devotees release pleasure. From Bhagavad Gita, we can learn from this verse. And how here we can see practically how Mother Yashoda and Rohini, they were, because of speaking about Krishna, how they, releasing that pleasure. Bodhayanta Parasparam. So this is the real beautiful thing. When we glorify the Lord, when we observe ourselves fully in Krishna consciousness, then we can have that real pleasure. This also we should understand. And then also it's mentioned we should not divert our attention even for a moment. Satatam kita yanto mam. That means Satatam means 24 hours. Always we should have that Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this can be simply done by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Very simple. Just always chant Hare Krishna and be in Krishna consciousness. Krishna Prabhupada gives very, easy way to be in Krishna consciousness. And also for us, we can see, we can also, when we want to share our things or share about Krishna's glories, first of all we should hear, then only we can share. So if you see Prabhupada's lecture, if you see Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam lecture, Chaitanya Charitamrita lecture is there, conversations are there, morning walks are there. If you see all those collections, if you see nearly 7,000 to 8,000 means lectures, almost like that we can have. If you compare like that, if you divide, and then if you hear at least one lecture of Prabhupada in a day, then at least it will take easily 6 to 7 years to complete. So many things are there to hear, and then after hearing, we can same thing we can share to the people also. If we don't do all these things, if we don't share our knowledge, then when we meet together, we will just speak that Gramya Katha only. This people will gossip. Oh, okay, from newspaper I saw this cine actor with the cine actress, and then this political party, this person, he want to join that party. Like that, so many things are there in the newspapers. So many gossips are there. But if we don't, sometimes people have the tendency, okay, gossiping like this, in that actually they relish also. Oh, these two people, they are suffering. Speaking about that, we should actually, if you are a good person, godly person, then we should feel for them. But, oh, this is happening there, that is happening there. So with great enthusiasm, they speaking means they are relishing in that. So that is not godly nature. So what we have to do, so this all this gossiping and then speaking like this, these are all actually ugly things. For devotees, these are all disgusting. When devotees also, means everyone's life, there may be some problems, some issues, but devotees, when they speak for their benefit, to help them, we should have that tendency. We should not also bring the same material tendency that, okay, I can speak to these people, and then we should not also not relish in that in speaking all these gossips. So we should feel, okay, he is in difficulty, how to help him. Only we should have that tendency. Then even that tendency, if we speak also, that is also in Krishna consciousness, because devotees, for them, so how to benefit them, how to bring their life again nicely, how to help them in progressing Krishna consciousness. In that way, even if we involve in their problems also, even that is also good. But if we keep on, just to satisfy our, just to enjoy in that problems, then we will also become like normal materialist person, like demons will act. So we should, because in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, in first canto, Prabhupada mentions only crow-like people, they actually enjoy all this material news and gossips and all. Only crow-like people, they have the tendency to go. So we should not be like crows taking things from garbage. We should be like swans taking good things. So when devotees meet together, if they speak about Krishna, if they speak about spreading the glories of the Lord, we have so many things to speak, how we can propagate this Krishna consciousness movement. So like that, in that way, we have so many things to speak. If devotees, when they meet together, if they spend whole time in that way, that is beneficial. Otherwise, like crows, what is happening here and there, like, we should not, have this filthy things. We should not hanker after these filthy things. We should be like swan, taking good thing, and then we should share whatever Prabhupada, thousands of lectures Prabhupada given, and then we have to share, because people are, without this knowledge, people are suffering. So this is required. Otherwise, whatever activity we do, that is, simply a useless waste of time. Also, in one place it's mentioned, dharmas svanastitaka pumsham visvakshena kadasoyaha Notpadyat idingradim shramayeva kevalam. Whatever activity you do, thinking that this is my dharma, if that activity does not, help one to hear about the Lord, then that is useless waste of time. When we speak about something, that may be anything, but if that thing cannot invoke our tendency to hear more about Krishna, then that activity is simply a useless waste of time. Also, all these pastimes and then instructions from Srimad Bhagavatam, these are the real medicine. Bhavaushade, nirvitatarshad upahiyamana. Bhavaushata, so means this is the real medicine. We are continuously in conditioned world, in the material world. We are suffering from this birth and death. We are suffering, and this is the Krishna's pastimes, and then devotees, these actions. These are all the only thing which can free ourselves from repeated birth and death. So this we have to take, and then Prabhupada very means very proudly he also mentions in the purport that we can see these Westerners. These Westerners, they come from the low background, low class culture, but still they took up this Krishna consciousness movement. They took this medicine, and it is working. Krishna Prabhupada very nicely, shows that it's actually it's directly it can be seen. Bhagavad Gita also mentioned. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshava Maham Dharmyam Susukam Kartumagayam. This is directly in Pratyakshava Maham Dharmyam. When we practice this devotional service, this process, then it works for everyone. When one is deceased, when medicine is given, it works for everyone in spite of caste and creed and gender. So it works for everyone. So this is the medicine for our conditioned life. So we should try to give this knowledge. And then also Lord mentions that wherever my devotees glorifies me, I am present. We want to see the beautiful form of the Lord. We want to be in the presence of the Lord. But it's mentioned that it's mentioned in one place that I am not in the. So I am there. Yatra ghayanti mat bhakta tatra tishtami narata. So wherever devotees glorify the Lord, at that place, so I am present. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is personally present actually. So we should keep on chanting Hare Krishna. And then in one place Prabhupada mentions that we should not be also eager to see the form of the Lord. Process is there. When you chant, Krishna is present. But we should not be very much eager about seeing the form of the Lord. You just concentrate in the vibration of the Lord. So then Krishna himself, reveals. So you don't have to endeavor to see the form of the Lord. You just concentrate in the vibration of the sound vibration. This Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we chant with full attention, then Krishna automatically appears. Also, regarding this glorifying the Lord, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when these four Kumaras they curse Jaya Vijaya, at that time they actually mention that because they actually at the end they felt bad. Okay, they are serving the Lord Vaishnavas, but I cursed them, so I did some mistake. So Kumaras were feeling, and then in that prayer they mentioned, "Oh Lord, we can go to hell also, but we should always chant your glories. Wherever we go, at least give that benediction that we have to always chant your glories." So devotees, they are not afraid of going to hell or heaven, but they want actually to glorify the Lord wherever they goes. They want to glorify, and then in that third canto, that 15th chapter, verse number 44, in that purport, Prabhupada mentions, so Krishna is so great, and our ears are so small. So how the great glorification of the Lord can enter into our insignificant ear. So Prabhupada only questions this and then answers himself that this ears are compared to the sky. You cannot fill the sky, right? Whatever you can pour so many things, but still you cannot fill. Similarly, this with this ears, we can unlimitedly we can hear about the Lord. Still, it cannot be full, but still you can release that pleasure. So Prabhupada mentions like that. So you can see from life of pure devotees how in their action, how their realization, and how in their prayers they are so much attracted to Krishna's service. In Yamunacharya also prays in one prayer, Yadavati Krishna Chet Padara Vinde, Krishna Padara Vinde. So whenever he thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord, whenever he engages in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, at that time when he thinks of that sexual intercourse, he spit at the thought. So devotees they like so much observe that material sense enjoyment is like insignificant compared to that Lord's lotus feet. So this is there, and also in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this sages of Naimisharanya, they actually asked Sutta Goswami, we are never tired hearing about the glories of the Lord. Here also we can see how Mother Yashoda and Rohini throughout the day, whole day, every day, they were simply speaking about Krishna, but they are never tired. So Papa mentions this is the difference between spiritual activities and material activities. We can hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita daily, we can hear, but still every time if we read, new fresh realizations comes. So this is the difference between spirituality and material activities. So we can see how devotees, they never become tired of hearing about the Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada, because of his mercy, we can see so many books are there, so many devotees association are there. So we have to take, and then we also try to glorify the Lord throughout our life. So in that way we can also be purified, and then we can also attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments?
Mother Parvati, curses Chitraketu Maharaj, and then, all this incident happened. Then I think Lord Shiva says that to Mother Parvati, Parvati, you are very beautiful, but Chitraketu is more beautiful than you. So Srila Prabhupada, I think, explained he says because of his Vaishnava quality, that even though she cursed him, but still Chitraketu Maharaj was, very humble and went to offer his pranams and asked her to forgive. So such a humble attitude to that quality of Vaishnava is the more beautiful than any beauty. So I just remember related to this beauty.
In the beginning, you were explaining about how devotees should not engage in prajalpa or waste time, and rather positively engage in Krishna's service by talking about him, glorifying him. So also in the Bhagavatam, there is quite a famous verse. There is a word that is always being used called ku for bad things and su for good things. There's something called kukata and sukata. Day for yesterday, I was looking for the verse. I'll just read that verse. It's a very nice verse. This is in the third canto, descriptions of the Vaikuntha, it's being explained. The verse is there. Yenna vrajantyaga bido rachananuvadach chrinvanti tenya vishaya kukata matignihi yastu shruta hata bhagair nirbhir attasaras tangstan shipant asharaneshu tamassu hanta. It is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of the Vaikuntha planets, but engage in topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilder one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take to talk of the material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance. So, it's two things. So, one is the hearing about the Lord. Another one, what is the bad effects that one has if you don't hear about the Lord and engage in wasting time, literally. That's not going to take us for a good destination. So, that's one thing. And another, as in today's verse, how this typically shows the mood of the devotees in Vrindavan, how they are always absorbed in hearing about Krishna. They are in great bliss to discuss about Him, glorify Him. So there is another verse which comes in the 46th chapter when Uddhava goes to meet, Krishna sends them, and Uddhava goes to console all the gopis and the gopas and like that. And in that, there's a beautiful verse when the Chaitanya Charitamrita release was happening. You know, this our one of our guests who came, Ananta Padmanabha Swami, he was actually quoting, we were very surprised that, there is a verse that he quoted regarding how the devotees of the Lord are so much absorbed in Krishna Katha. So this is the verse he quoted. So the verse goes like this: Udgayatinam Aravinda Lochanam Vrajangananam Divyamasprashadvanihi. So Udgayatinam, the devotees of the Lord are very loudly singing about the glories of the Lord. Aravinda Lochanam, Krishna who has got a beautiful eyes like a lotus. So they were calling out, the gopis were calling out his name. And how they were calling, the sound was so much that the sound hit the sky. So that's what it is. Asprashat Dvanihi. And what happened? Dadnascha Nirmantana Shabda Misrito. So they were also, there was early in the morning, they were churning the butter. So the churning rod, the sound and the singing about the glories of the Lord, different pastimes they were calling out. Both of them were in sync. Very nicely they were singing, and the sound was really blasting, and then it was going up to the sky. And then what is the result of such a chanting or hearing about Krishna? The verse says, Nirasyate yena disham amangalam. All the four directions, all the inauspiciousness were destroyed. So this is the glory of hearing about Krishna, discussing about Krishna. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness Srila Prabhupada gave, it's very, very purifying for us, and also it is creating the most auspiciousness for the entire human race. So we go out, distribute books, do Harinam, the most auspicious activity. Giriraj Maharaj, in his book Dancing White Elephants, he's mentioning one point that Prabhupada engaged them. They were all, the whole series he's explaining. The devotees went to, in Surat, they were in Bombay. Surat, they had a very big public program. It literally whole day program. He was explaining that 7 hours, actually there were 7 programs they had, they could never match with Prabhupada. So they had 7 programs, and at one point of time, they were collapsing actually. They couldn't match with Prabhupada. And then Gurudas Prabhu went very politely. He went to Prabhupada and said that Prabhupada, maybe we should restrict the program to 2 programs a day, so that, it will be much effective. And then Prabhupada thought about it, and then Prabhupada, he reduced the program. From 7 programs, he reduced it to 2 programs for 1 or 2 days. Again, he went on to 4 or 5 programs. And the devotee said that we were all in bliss, although they never had time to rest. They never had time to, it was all too tight, literally intense, but they said that their experience was extreme bliss. So, yeah, this intense Krishna consciousness is really so inspiring, so that we can be more and more absorbed and then keep ourselves enlivened to distribute. Yesterday also I was hearing about, I just shared it in our group, that yesterday Mahotsaha Prabhu was speaking about how he broke the record. And then it was really amazing how he is speaking. There's really so much charge, continuously reading, hearing, thinking all the time how to distribute books, how to give it to different people. It's so inspiring. So we have to constantly speak, even we do not act, at least we speak, we hear, enthusiasm will come, we will be surcharged, and then we'll be in the preaching mission. Hare Krishna. Thank you for many nice points. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.